Good everyone. That's been a nice game week. Good everyone. I'm Ibuka, and that's been a nice game week. So for this week, I'll just be reviewing my game week performance, plans for game week 5 and beyond. Just giving a review of my team. And yeah, let's just dive right in. So as you can see, I had 67 points this game week, whereby the game week average was 63. The highest team was 139. I don't know how people get this just at a go, Yeah, it works for them. So yeah, who am I? I'm just playing for the fun of it. So let me just go back to the status page. So as you can see, these are the stats for the week. So let me review my team. So yeah, going back to the points. So for this week I had 67 points, and yeah, back to my approach. You can see I lost some game week ranks, which I'm not so happy about. So there's been a dip in my overall rank. There's been a dip in my overall rank, so it's a bit of a worry for me, but yeah, we'll just battle it out. So let's review my team. So for this week, if you can recall my approach for my last game week, I tried to focus on reducing the downsides of my team. Like I said earlier, there's no perfect team, just a team with little downside. So without a doubt, you can see that there seems to be an issue with my midfield. My midfield did not return much points. So the next question then arises, who am I not happy with? So if you can recall from last week, I removed Adingra and brought in Johnson. I removed Adingra for Dewsbury Hall. So my concern was, with the minutes, and for Dewsbury Hall's price points, I'm really not concerned. Should have gotten 3 points, but then he got a yellow card. So yeah, for his price point, that's 3 points. How much is he worth again? For his price point, that's 5 million. So I really don't care. So yeah, I'm fine with him. I don't expect much to do. And then let's look over Salah. Salah is who he thinks he is. So later of the minutes, he returned points as usual. I actually captained Haaland earlier, but then I had to switch, thinking only was an easier fixture and will have more goals than with Man U. What a disgrace Man U has become. But then that's what it is. Haaland, scored 2 goals. Man U really needs to step up. So Reinders did a 1 week magic against Wolves. All of us brought him in, but then he hasn't really proven much of his worth since then. However, for his price point, once again, I'm not too bothered. So yeah, I think I can leave him for now. And let's just see how subsequent games come. So for the next game week, he has Burnley, and unlike Liverpool, I perceive Man City to be high scoring. So yeah, I assume a lot of goals in that match. So I think I can hold him on for the next. So I like projecting, looking at 5 game weeks list minimum, but I can hold him up till Burnley. Let's see how he performs, and maybe he'll really be. I'm having concerns about transferring him out, but since he has consistent minutes, I'll still give that a thought. It's not really a must sell or a priority sell for me now. So yeah, happy with the price point. It's even added price again for what I can see. It was 5.6 in the last time. Now it's 5.7. So only not bothered about the Johnny Reinders. Yeah, what is value? Considering the nothing much. Yeah. Now Umbomo. I think Umbomo is a good player. Just that when a good player goes to a poorly managed team like mine, I hate the fact that I say that, but that's what it has become. He really does well, attacks the final third, but we cannot really see that outcome in Manu's game, just excluding Burnley. But with Chelsea, Brentford, Sunderland in particular upcoming, I'm fine with his upcoming fixtures, although I doubt his points, but I'm really happy with Mbomo. I think he can pack a punch. So yeah, I'm okay with him for now. So my worry falls back with Brennan Johnson. So true to my style, I like players that have consistent minutes. Even if you're not returning points, just have consistent minutes. Attack the final third. These are things I look out for when picking players, and as much as possible, like I said earlier, I like top 6 attackers. But in this case, just like with my last video, I mentioned the concerns about Xavi Simons coming in and it affecting fact is, my concerns were materialized. So it means I need to try to fix my team before it really gets bad. If you watch the game, you will see that when Brennan Johnson, he played just 90 minutes or thereabouts, but he had some really good attempts at goal. I think naturally he's a good player, but for FPL sake, he's not really. For the rotation risks for his price points, it kind of bothers me. So I'll be going for without a thought subbing out Brennan Johnson. Now, the next question then arises: who do I replace him with? Do I replace him with Grealish or Semenyo, like I reviewed last time? So if you could recall from my last review of my team, I favored going for Grealish as against Semenyo, but I rechecked the data again, and apparently I think Semenyo is better. Now hear me out, let's look at Grealish and Semenyo side by side. So yeah, let me just give you a preview of both of them side by side. So let me select the replacement. So I'll look at two things. I'll look at their fixtures and I'll look at their points. So in trying to select, I was looking at Semenyo again. Semenyo has literally returned in every game he has played except against a big 6. That is a top 6, Tottenham in this case. So as much as we may want to talk, or I wouldn't want to use the word talk down, but as much as we want to ignore Semenyo, it's too hard to ignore. He's returned against Liverpool, Wolves, only missing out on Tottenham and then Brighton. So Semenyo is also a penalty taker. His next 5 fixtures: Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. These fixtures are quite easy compared to that of Grealish. Now let me show you that of Grealish. So Grealish has Liverpool upcoming, which we all know it will be a difficult fixture. This will be their first game against a top 6, so I don't know how Grealish's performance, Everton's performance will pan out, but it'll be nice to watch. And then we have West Ham United. I feel like West Ham United, out of their next 5 fixtures, is the easiest, considering how frequently they've been considering these days. They have Crystal Palace, Man City and Tottenham. Now, looking at Everton's next 5 fixtures, they have Liverpool, City, Tottenham, which are 3 difficult fixtures, adding Crystal Palace to it. I think the only easy fixture they have is West Ham. And I looked at this fixture and compared it with that of Semenyo, and oh boy, I was a lot more worried about Grealish's performance over the next 5 games. Mind you, I still think he's a good asset, but considering the next 5 games, I don't think I want to have him yet. So instead, I prefer that Semenyo's fixture against Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest. I think surely there will be goals against Nottingham Forest, Leeds and Fulham. Crystal Palace and Newcastle are defensively much more better, in my opinion, but his fixtures are generally better than that of Grealish, and once again he's a penalty taker, so you can be sure that he will net, just in case a penalty arises, he will be the one to take it and he will secure points. So yeah, as much as possible, we want to look at data, and in this case, I will be going against my last advice of avoiding Grealish. In this case, I'll be removing Justin and bringing in Semenyo. I think at this point of the game, that's the best option to go with. So yeah, I'll be making this transfer and still reserving one more transfer. At this point in time, I don't really know where else to increase or rather improve my team. Like I said, with defense, I'm okay with my defense. I don't expect much. Yeah, really don't expect much from defense. Goals will surely come in, but fine with my defense. I think if there are more areas I need to improve my team, it might be with Reinders. I'm a bit too concerned about Reinders, but it's not a must sell for his price, but I'm okay. I think this is just the major improvement I need to make to my team. Defensively, I'm fine. Also, McGill worries me a bit in the sense that I don't have a rotation around him. We don't have rotation for McGill. I'm thinking maybe in the longer term to downgrade Belmo and get a better striker, but so far, looking at the strikers so far, I can't really seem to decide on one that will be as consistent as João Pedro and Haaland. But so, I don't really want to water the team so much that the downsides tend to outweigh the benefits. So I'm fine with my team this way. So I'll be making this transfer. Yeah, confirm. So like I said earlier, once you have, cardinal points for how you want your team to look like, what you expect from your team, and the emphasis should be on minimizing the downsides of your team. I don't think making transfers should be difficult for you. So for game week 5, this is how I intend to line up. So Sanchez against Manu or Dubravka, I'm really not decided yet. I really think Dubravka will make a lot of saves compared to Sanchez, but nonetheless, I'll decide better later. So I'm happy with Pedro Porro, Rodon. I might have to bench Gabriel. Then Semenyo, Mbeumo, Reinders, Salah, Drisbio, Haaland, João Pedro. I think I'm fine with this. I'm fine with my team this way. Just have to decide on the captaincy. I think I like Salah's fixture against Everton, so he'll maintain my argument. So yeah, that's it for this game week. I hope you enjoyed and see you on the next one. Bye for now. Debuka.